Monster, 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 big scary monster.
Monster, how should I feel? Creatures lie here, looking through the window. Monster, how should I feel? Creatures lie here, looking through the window. Monster, how should I feel? Creatures lie.
Hey guys and gals, welcome back to the Creepy Files. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you never miss your Creepy Files fix. Also, we're now accepting subscriber stories, so just send them in. All the information will be linked down below. Now let's get to the video. Today we're going to explore the murder castle, or the man behind it, I should say. Yes, today we're talking about one of America's first serial killers, H.H. Holmes. Holmes was born May 16, 1861, as Herman Webster Mudgett to a farming family. He had a privileged childhood, was very intelligent, and showed interest in medicine, and he would often practice surgery on animals. Holmes would start his criminal activity by doing scams, many in his college career. He would steal corpses from the college and use them to make false insurance claims. In 1886, he moved to Chicago and worked at a pharmacy and took over the business when he bought it. Soon after, he had a 3-story building built. The upper stories were his living quarters and small torture rooms. The rooms had gas jets to asphyxiate the people, trapdoors and chutes to move bodies to the basement to be cremated or other means of disposal. In 1893, he opened the building as a hotel. He lured women into the hotel by seducing and swindling them and killed them. During this time, he was also married to multiple women in different places at the same time. One of Holmes' victims was his mistress, Julia Smith. She worked at his pharmacy's jewelry counter, and she and her daughter Pearl stayed at the hotel. Julia and Pearl disappeared Christmas of 1891. Later, Holmes claimed she died during an abortion. This could never be confirmed, and Pearl was never found. Another employee who disappeared was Emmeline Sigrand. She began working for Holmes May of 1892 and disappeared December of 1892. In 1893, Holmes met Minnie Williams and offered her a job at the hotel, and she accepted. Holmes then convinced her to transfer the deed to her property in Texas to him. In April 1893, she transferred the deed. In the next month, Holmes and Williams presented themselves as man and wife and rented an apartment in Chicago. Minnie's sister came to visit, and after June 5th of 1893, neither of the women were seen again. In 1894, Holmes went to Texas where he inherited Minnie's property. He created another murder castle, and the building was a larger version of the Chicago building. July 1894, he was arrested for selling mortgaged goods in Missouri. While in jail, Holmes came up with a plan to get $10,000 by taking a policy out on himself and then faking his death. He promised Marion Hedgepeth $500 if he gave him the name of a lawyer who could be trusted. He was directed to Jephthah Howe, and his plan failed when insurance companies became suspicious and refused to pay. He then convinced his associate Benjamin Peitzel to fake his death so his wife could collect $10,000 and split it with Holmes and Howe. Holmes was supposed to use a cadaver but instead killed Peitzel by knocking him out with chloroform and setting him on fire. Holmes then manipulated Peitzel's wife into letting him take custody of 3 of their 5 children. Holmes and the Peitzel children traveled all over the U.S. and into Canada. At the same time, he moved Mrs. Peitzel along a parallel route. They were so close that at some points they were just blocks away. Holmes later confessed to killing the 2 girls by forcing them in a trunk, asphyxiating them with gas, and then buried their bodies in a rental house basement. In 1894, police were tipped off by Hedgepeth because Holmes didn't pay him. Holmes was arrested November 17, 1894. In July of 1895, Alice and Ellie's bodies were found, and police in Chicago started to investigate the murder castle. October of 1895, he was put to trial for Peitzel's murder. He was found guilty and sentenced to death. Holmes confessed to 27 murders in Chicago, Indianapolis, and Toronto, and 6 attempted murders. May 7th of 1896, Holmes was hanged to death. Before his death, he asked that his coffin be in cement and he be buried 10 feet deep because he feared grave robbers would steal his body. March 7th, 1914, the castle's new caretaker committed suicide. His body was found in his bedroom with a note that said, "I couldn't sleep." His relatives said he had been haunted for several months and he had been suffering from hallucinations.
Monster, 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 monster.